Hello, I'm Gavin, and I thought on a whim I would try out this booktubing thing. Felt cute, might delete later. I just wanted to give it a try. I'm addicted to BookTube. If you know me, which you probably don't just yet, but I work at Waterstones and I am a children's and young adult bookseller. I went through so many different video ideas that I could possibly do for my 5-year BookTube anniversary, and only about a few hours ago I finally landed on what I want to do. So I was brainstorming things like maybe I could read the most popular books that were around on BookTube the time I joined, or maybe I can just read a book from each year that I've been on BookTube. Maybe I could reread the books that I recommended on my channel in 2019 and see if those recommendations still stand 5 years later. There was just so many things that I potentially could have done for this video, but I did decide that I would go through a lot of my friends' best books of each year videos and just have a little comb through them and just say like what books were recommended that appeals to me, but also that is probably on my TBR and has been on my TBR since those years, so that I can finally get around to reading them. Obviously I did not do the extensive research that my friend Katie did for BookTube's best books of 2022 and 2023. I mainly just scrolled through so many of them, and then as soon as I spotted a book that I'd had from that year, something that I should have read that year but I didn't, I was like, okay, I'm going to write that down and maybe I might pick it for this video. But I have decided to stick to my own TBR, so I did rule out a few of the options and I'm going to go with the 5 that I picked to celebrate each year that I've been on BookTube so far, apart from 2024 because that year has barely begun yet. So the 5 books I'm going to read in this video for each year are Pet by Akwaeke Emezi for 2019, Loveless by Alice Oseman for 2020, Lonely Castle in the Mirror by Mizuki Tsujimura for 2021, Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield for 2022, and then finally Yellowface by R.F. Kuang for 2023. These are all the books I'm going to be reading spoiler free in this video. All of them I am so very excited to get to, and I might treat this vlog a little bit like a week in the life kind of video. Today is currently Sunday, April 14th. So this whole week that's coming up will be me celebrating 5 years on BookTube. So I think a sort of week in the life kind of video would also be pretty good. Not that I think anything exciting is going to happen this week. It's going to be very standard, but let's just hang out. Let's just chat. Let's go through 5 years on BookTube and see what happens. And if you end up enjoying this video, please do give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Hi BookTube, coming back at you with another video. I thought I would sit down for this one because that's a more accurate reflection of who I am as a person. I have a cold as well, so I'm sorry if I sound funny. The cold does bother me. The way I am doing my TBRs now is a bit like Becca in the Books. I was very inspired by her Bookopoly videos to make my own sort of Bookopoly board. What better way to start a reading vlog? Today is Thursday. Just come back from Oak Grove. The little bastards got us, didn't they? Whew. So the quest. Well, I will be going back to Oak Grove to finish what I fucking started and show those little bastards who they think they're dealing with. And the best thing about buying books as well is that I know that I'm going to be spending my time on something worthwhile. It's going towards publishers and authors and supporting, you know, the incredible creative talents that are out there. And books just make me feel safe and secure, you know. I just know that they're not going to judge me or anything. So my origins arc, I feel like I have mentioned a few times in different Q&As and stuff about how I started my channel, why I started my channel. I actually started my channel back in 2006. I used to upload videos about Disney stuff, and it was a lot of copyrighted stuff. There was only one video that I ever uploaded that was copyright free somehow, and that's still up on my channel because I wanted some sort of relic from the past, just to have this kind of indication that there was a channel before my channel. I actually started my BookTube channel under the name of Gavin Hetherington. That was my name, and I just wanted my name to be my channel name. I didn't actually change it until the following year, but I had been watching BookTube since around about 2013, 2014. I used to watch well, I still watch actually. I still watch Jessie the Reader. I used to love Read by Zoe as well. I wanted for many years to start a BookTube channel, but I didn't until April 2019. At the time, the Magical Readathon by G from Book Roast was happening, and I was reading so much for it, and I was just so proud, and I just wanted to show everyone what I had read. I wanted to share my opinions, and I was also very inspired by Becca from Becca and the Books with her Bookopoly, which I tried for 2 months and then I ended up not doing it anymore. I thought initially TBR games were not for me, but as we see in 2020, things turn around. When I'm trying to look back on each year, 2019 was a mess in terms of like what I was uploading. There was a lot of stuff that I just wouldn't watch now. I don't think I would watch any video I put out in 2019, to be honest. Although I did start doing weekly reading vlogs, and I only ever did weekly reading vlogs in 2019, so they started and ended that year. And it was actually so nice, the fact that I could make such fast friends with like specifically Becca, Cody, and Jay, that I ended up meeting them so quickly. They were some of the first supporters of my channel. I have to give huge credit to Becca and Cody for just welcoming me so amazingly. You know, we would stay up to watch the new Game of Thrones episodes of the final season together, and I'd only known them for like a month or something, and it was just so wonderful. But I was so fortunate and lucky that I actually got to meet Cody and Jay for the first time in July 2019, and then Becca the following month in August 2019. Guys, look who I'm with. Do you love this setup as well? It's like very professional.
Yeah, it is.
It's like,
I mean, it's a better angle than I just had because I can't hold mine.
but it's going to be really shaky, yeah. So that's fine, because I'm shaking because I'm in Becca. I'm so nervous.
Oh my goodness.
I've just had a really good day with Becca, but it isn't over yet. We will be going for some food, and definitely check out Becca's vlog because she has more great stuff as per usual. Anyway, I just want to quickly check in because I wanted something for this vlog, especially with this beautiful... I had only been on BookTube for what, like 3 months? May, June. And in fact, no, I'd only been on BookTube like 2.5 months, and I got to meet Cody and Jay. And I was just over the moon because I love them so much. And meeting Becca too in York was just a dream come true. So I am honestly blessed, so blessed that I got to make such great friends straight away. And obviously I will continue to make incredible friends throughout the rest of my BookTube journey. A lot more people who will most likely be mentioned coming up. But I was invited to be part of the Catch a Book Club with Becca. That was my first ever book club, as well as Read, Rate, Review that Book Roast was hosting as well at the time, although we were doing it on different channels. And I remember with the Read, Rate, Review, we would offer a book club choice, all of the hosts, at the end of a live show, and then everyone would vote for it, and whoever's book choice won would be the one to host the book club. Although I only ever won once. I remember it was Cinderella is Dead, and I think that was in 2020 that my pick finally won. I was just lucky, I think. I was just so very lucky that so many incredible people just welcomed me with open arms. On the flip side of that though, there were some people who didn't fully take to me straight away, and there were maybe 1 or 2 people making fun of me in their public videos and not really being very nice, but that's fine. Everything is behind us now, I think. Some of the people who did that aren't around on BookTube anymore. Figures. If you want to know some Gavin lore, some Gavin Reads It All lore, I did do my weekly reading vlogs, and there was one weekly reading vlog that I had to take down because I was called into my manager's office at Waterstones, and I had complained I had complained about a fellow colleague in that video because behind my back he cancelled an author event that I had arranged myself, and he didn't tell me. I was upset and I was mad about it, so I mentioned it in the reading vlog, so I had to take it down because someone from head office also had to come in and talk to me. I remember that was on the day that I premiered my first ever readathon announcement video, which was Believeathon, which my friend Pris was the one who came up with the idea of me doing a middle grade readathon. She just messaged me one day being like, Gavin, why don't you host a middle grade readathon? You know, not many people host them. I mean, there was like middle grade marching and things like that, but there wasn't really a whole lot more of readathons based around middle grade books. So I was like, oh, you know what, actually that sounds really good. Let's do that. And I did come up with Believe in the Impossible Readathon, Believeathon, and I premiered that video. It was my first ever video premiere. Hey guys, welcome to a very special video. Now, if all goes to plan, this is going up as a premiere on Friday the 13th, which, you know, is a bit of a dangerous day, but I laugh in the face of danger. I have decided that I would love to host a readathon, and you're thinking, Gavin, you knew shut up and sit down. But I really wanted to host a readathon that's all to do with children's books and middle grade, because they're some of my like favorite books of all time, and like I feel like there is like a huge need for more people reading like children's books in middle grade on BookTube. I think I got like 60 people watching, and I was just over the moon with that. That was just like the best. And I used to take screenshots of my analytics when I would like surpass my own records. So I remember in fact I might still have some screenshots. I think I've still got loads of them saved. Let's go back through the archives. Let's go back through the archives. This was like from the first 2 hours. This screenshot is from the 27th of May 2019. And I screenshotted it because my June 2019 TBR in 2 hours was number 1 of 9. I got 49 views. And I was just over the moon. I was so happy with that. What other screenshots do I have? Oh, I mean, and then I also took another screenshot of it the next day when it was like a full day of it being up. 191 views. And I was just so proud of that. So that was fun. What was I talking about again? Oh yeah, so my Believe-a-thon announcement video was my first ever premiere on September 13th. And that was the day I was called into my manager's office to take that reading blog down. And I was like so excited for my Believe-a-thon announcement video. You have no idea. I put so much work into that. And that experience on that day, it just ruined the whole day for me. Like, I was so gutted because I was looking forward to my announcement, and I was just like sad the rest of the day. Oh, I got a screenshot when my friend JD Ray Reads finally subscribed to me on the 20th of May 2019. I used to take screenshots when I was just so proud of things. Like, I was so happy and excited that somebody I love, because I was watching Jade. I think I discovered Jade around about the Magical Readathon. So I was just excited that she actually subscribed to me. I was like, me? Jade subscribed to me? So yeah, 2019 was a little bit messy, I think. I did end up visiting Cody and Jay again when I was doing the Gilmore Girls Readathon. So that was so much fun because I did this whole like opening thing. If you're out on the road, feeling lonely and so cold. I know you know the words, chime in. All you have to do is call my name and I'll be there. On the next train where you lead, I will follow anywhere that you tell me to. If you need me to be with you, I will follow. Where you lead, I will follow anywhere that you tell me to. If you need me to be with you, I will follow where you lead. It was probably one of the earliest times I ever did some kind of like skit thing, which sometimes I do every now and then. And that's probably one of like my earliest examples of that, just to fit in with the theme of the readathon. And I love, you know, fitting themes into videos. So all of that was going on in 2019, and it really was just me trying to find my feet, which I don't think I ended up finding my feet until maybe late 2021. Like, it took a while for me to really feel like I was taken in by like BookTube and like I kind of belonged in a way. But I don't think I would ever rewatch any video from 2019. I don't like any of them. So yeah, I announced Believe-a-thon in September. The readathon itself in November 2019 was just so wonderful. Like, I think that was probably one of the best Believe-a-thon rounds I ever did. I only ever did 4 full rounds essentially, and it was a good time. It really was. The first round of it was just magical to me. And I really put everything into my reading vlogs too. I did a whole Wizard of Oz opening, which I kind of redid a little bit recently in my Wizard of Oz reading vlog. I also went to see Frozen 2 dressed as Elsa, which I did get some funny looks, but you know me, I had to stand out. I was born to stand out. And also I think maybe the highlight of 2019 was Mrs. Marilyn clothes. I'm not gonna lie, when I had to do that challenge of me baking, and I can't bake, I still can't bake, and I had to dress up as Mrs. Marilyn clothes for the cozy little readathon, which was such a cozy little readathon. It was so nice. Why, hello, and welcome to the pilot episode of Baking with Marilyn. I am your host, Mrs. Marilyn Claus, and I'm going to be making gingerbread reindeer for the cozy little readathon. Oh shit. First you gotta grab yourself a Christmassy mug, and for mine I got mine off the Polar Express, because it takes all the little kids to my husband, and I don't worry about that. Now let's get on to the main program, which is the baking. I got my Christmas reindeer, what do you got? Nothing. To prepare the mixture, you will need 1 medium egg. Well, how do I know if it's a medium? Oh wow. This one's a tough egg to crack. You know what? I might just keep the yolk in. Whoever said that I couldn't put the yolk in? And I didn't get as many eggshells in that one. Yay! So I'm doing this recipe a little different because I cannot get the white out of the yolk. I just don't understand how that happens. There is eggshells in here. Oh, snap! Add half the sugar powder. Oh, sorry, that's my 7-year itch. I have myself some sugar sprinkles and some discs. Maybe I need to go all the way down to stick this gingerbread thing together. Oh shit, there's a hair on it. That don't matter. Well, that's that. Oh, it looks beautiful. Oh no, I broke the antlers. So as you can see, my first reindeer is a huge success. Oh, it just looks good enough to eat. And that's actually how I met Lexi from Alexandra Roselyn. I love Lexi so much. We are still besties to this day. But I remember Lexi, she gave me a shout out in her video, I think some kind of Vlogmas video, and she shouted me out and we just became friends ever since. And again, like that just like made my world. It was just so good. So actually I feel like I'm still friends with so many people still from my very first year at BookTube. Oh, I did also join Bonathon, which was hosted by Ashley from A Frolic Through Fiction. That was a fun little read along for the Bone Season series by Samantha Shannon. That was fun. I did get a question on my Instagram. What is something you wish you knew when you first started out on YouTube? I wish I told myself that my journey on BookTube is my journey and no one else's, and I can't compare to anyone else, and I shouldn't be comparing myself to anyone else because it's just gonna get me sad and down. Every single person on BookTube, even people who are starting BookTube today, they're not going to be the best videos you ever do, but allow yourself to learn from everything that you put out. Be proud of everything you put out, even if in a few years it doesn't age very well, because God knows none of my 2019 videos aged very well. They're terrible quality, terrible sound, but you know what? I don't care, because that is how I started, and I wouldn't change a thing. So I would say, little Gav of 2019, don't be so hard on yourself. Just enjoy the journey, put out what you want to put out, and just trust that your own determination, your own desire to be part of BookTube will come through, and continue to do that, and you're solid. These are my current favorite chocolate. I will be taking no questions at this time. The scariest thing happened today, so I'll show you the clips of the rain, but the rain came down so hard, this might be dangerous, I don't know. But there is a leak. It hasn't leaked in a while, so I think all of the water is probably just piling up above the ceiling or something. But yeah, the fire alarm, there is where the leak is supposed to be coming out of, but it just hasn't, even when it's been raining. But today the rain came down like so hard, and I can't explain this, so the only explanation I have is the rain, but my fire alarm went off, and it hasn't gone off in the 3 years that I've lived here. So it was the first time I ever heard it, and I was like, oh my god, like, turn it off, because the fire alarm upstairs went off, the fire alarm in the kitchen went off. I was going up and down the stairs like wondering which one had been triggered, because there was nothing in the oven, there was nothing burning or anything, there was no smoke, and the alarms were going off, and it was the loudest and the most annoying sound. And the only explanation I have is that it was the rain and it triggered something, maybe? I don't know. My landlord won't do anything about it, so there's no point me going to him. I am looking for somewhere else to live. I'm still looking every single day, but nothing really has come up that I'm very interested in moving into. And it has to be pet friendly as well, is the only thing, so that really just narrowed down the search. Anyway, I finished Pet by Akwaeke Emezi. This was so quick to read, literally a few hours and it was done. And I love this. I thought it was great. I'll probably give it like 4.5 stars. This follows Jam, and she is a black trans girl, and she lives in this like fictional town called Lucille. And the angels have said, oh, there are no monsters here. They've all been gotten rid of. And one day Jam is in her mother's like studio, her room, where she has all of her artwork, and Jam accidentally bleeds on one of the pieces of the artwork, and a monster called Pet comes out. It was so interesting, all of that, and how it was like unfolding. It seemed rather like normal, the way that the author just portrayed like this world. It was like I had no questions about it. Like I just had to believe what was being told. I had to believe that this has always been the way, and it was so interesting. There is actually a quote that I think perfectly sums up how metaphorical this book is. I think when you really dig deep below the surface of it. Okay, fine, Redemption continued, who is Jam's best friend. But monsters must have looked like something at some point. The angels had to identify them, right? Some things must have been obvious. Well, yeah, like if something was hurting other people all the time, maybe it's not how people look, it's what they do. And I just love that line, maybe it's not how people look, it's what they do, that defines a monster, is so great. I really do think that this book questions a lot of the ideas of what we perceive as monsters. Are they things that we can judge based on how they look, or do we see them as monsters because of how they act and what they do? So having that question throughout this was so good. I just can't believe it's as short as it is. I honestly could have read even more of this. I believe there is a sequel called Bitter, which I don't have. I'm definitely going to pick it up. I might see if my library has it and like check it out tomorrow or something. Because it's been a long time since I've read a book where I could like really peel apart the layers and kind of analyze it in my brain a little bit more than just like what's surface level. Or the questions of like what monsters are and all of that. I feel like this would make such a great book club discussion. I'm just so sad that I'm like 5 years late on this one. I did love the other book that Akwaeke Emezi wrote, and that was Freshwater. I read that one back in 2022, and I really enjoyed that book. So Akwaeke Emezi seems like the perfect author for me. I have loved 2 books by them so far, so I need to get on reading more. I did get the audiobook from Libby, and the audiobook was fantastic. It was narrated wonderfully. The voice of Pet was so good. I wouldn't be surprised if this is in one of my best books of the year videos. Hi, I'm Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, and you're watching Disney Channel.
How to Train Your Gavin. Read those books in a blink. Oh yeah. Grab yourself a hot drink cause you're watching How to Train Your Gavin.
Yep, that's me. Oh, you want to talk about 2020? Are you sure? So there is a particular event that started in 2020 with the lockdowns and COVID. So I feel like 2020 is a strange year all round. And it's actually the year that I really feel like I try to solidify myself as a middle grade booktuber. To me, I feel like my middle grade journey was predominantly 2020 and it went into 2021, but I kind of mixed things up a bit the following year. But even to this day, I do get people who like say they recommend my channel and they will firstly say, oh, Gavin, he's a middle grade booktuber. And I'm like, that was like 1 year. But I will say, you would think that in 2020, because I changed my channel name to How to Train Your Gavin, which was inspired by How to Train Your Dragon, of course. And I made myself a little theme tune with the music of Hannah Montana. And I can't believe I put that theme tune at the beginning of pretty much most of the videos I uploaded in 2020. I stopped using it in the very start of 2021, as soon as my peak middle grade was a little bit over. I made middle grade my life in 2020, I think, but I do genuinely believe that I displayed how much I loved middle grade from Believe-a-thon when I did the first round. And then in 2020, I ended up doing 2 rounds. I did Believe-a-thon 2, which was in May. It lasted 2 weeks. And then I did Believe-a-thon 3, which I did in November, and that lasted the entire month. Hello there, welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. I am coming at you today from the Manor of Make Believe-a-thon to announce Believe-a-thon 3. So to help you solve the mystery, I have 13 very special children's authors who want to sort of help you along your way.
Hello, detectives. I'm Robin Stevens.
Hi, I'm Rashni Chakshi.
Hello, I'm Vashti Hardy.
Hi, I'm Michelle Harrison.
Hi, I'm Somerton Annie.
Hello, I'm Laura Ellen Anderson.
Hi guys, it's Jamie Little here.
Hi,
I'm Elle McNichol.
Hi, I'm Jessica Townsend.
I'm Sophie Anderson.
Hi, this is Anna James.
Hello, my name is Thomas Taylor.
Hi, I'm Rena Barron.
And I also started to unbox Alcrate Junior boxes. I was made a rep for a while, and I wanted to do unboxings a little bit differently, so I did end up unboxing in costume. I tried to fit a costume around a Alcrate Junior theme. Who's your mommy?
I'm your basic average girl, and I'm here to save the world. You can't stop me cause I'm Kim Possible.
Might just burst into a wicked song at random intervals, so just ignore that. Oh, 10,000 years without an Alcrate Junior unboxing has given me such a crick in the neck. My Scooby-Doo one where I dressed up as Velma, this is a little bit of a sad backstory, but that video, I think, was the last video my Aunt Julie ever watched before she passed away in 2020. I remember visiting her in the hospital in February, and I just remember her saying I was like absolutely bonkers in that she laughed so much at me being Velma from Scooby-Doo. So yeah, that was sad. But yeah, I also started Middle Grade Monthly with Jade from JD Ray Reads, and Pris as well. Pris was our moderator for a long time.
This is our first time kind of like doing something just us. I wanted to be really chill, just talk about things that we love, which is middle grade. And I do also want to point out that Middle Grade Monthly was created by Jade at JD Ray Reads. She is the...
See that coming.
Yeah, right? I bet you all thought it was me. No, but the amazing, the talented, I don't know which side of the screen you're on, is JD Ray Reads. She is the one who brought us all together. She brings us here today to celebrate the union of Gavin and Jade and Pris. Shout out Pris. Pris is our amazing moderator.
But that was a really fun time. Like, I had been part of Read Rate Review. I was part of Catch Up Book Club in 2019. But this was like the first time I felt like I was a little bit more in charge with Jade doing the Middle Grade Monthly one. So again, I can see why people would label me a middle grade booktuber. I also started my complete series reading vlogs in 2020. So long before Goosebumps, I did Amelia Fang. Amelia Fang was my very first one. It's almost midnight, and that is the perfect time to start this vlog because I have planned an impromptu Amelia Fang day. And I also have my, my Amelia Fang t-shirt. Yay. And I didn't realize I would continue to just do like complete series after that, but it's become now like one of my most popular kind of series that I do. So I start with Amelia Fang, and then I did the Demon Nata series, and then I did the Cheetah Girls in 2020, which was phenomenal. Like, that's one of my favorite videos, not gonna lie.
Come on. Singing from our birth, working hard for what we deserve. We make each other stronger, that ain't ever gonna change.
I don't think I could ever watch it back though, because that was the earliest I used green screen, I think. And it's also like the first like musical video that I did. So I did a few musical videos. Oh my god. They are terrible. I can't sing. I cannot sing, but I still did them because I just wanted to make people laugh. And I actually got a question recently, which video would I redo if I could now? And it would be the Cheetah Girls one. I am way better with the green screen. I have better quality with my videos. When I did the Cheetah Girls one, I did it overnight, so I had to do it when my mum was on night shift because I was living with her at the time. She was on night shift and I had work in the morning, so the only time I could film those green screen bits was during the night. And I was doing it in the upstairs landing, and I had the green screen hanging down from my bedroom door, and I only had a very, very narrow window where I could like move. So if you see me moving in the Cheetah Girls video, it's all very boxed in because I couldn't like put my arms too far out because then you wouldn't have been able to see them. So like everything's like so cramped and it just doesn't look that good now. So I would definitely redo that video, but I still love it. Speaking of doing like musical videos, I did start doing Mamma Mia that year too. I did 2 Mamma Mia videos. The first one was in 2020. It got blocked in so many countries. I had just gotten monetization on my channel, but I got demonetized for 3 months after that because of the extensive use of copyright material. But doing the Mamma Mia video, I was just so excited. I don't know why, because it's like probably cringe looking back at it now, but I just wanted to be funny, essentially. I just want to be funny. There was the Mamma Mia-a-thon happening at the same time, so it was like a readathon where the prompts were based off of Mamma Mia songs. So I was like, ooh, I could do a Mamma Mia reading vlog where I put myself in Mamma Mia, sing some of the songs, and also share some stories of my love life, because there is a Mamma Mia song for every occasion. So I try to make it a little bit of a narrative kind of vlog.
Well, I could dance with you, honey, if you think it's funny. Does your mother know that you're out? Look into his angel eyes. One look and you're hypnotized. Can you hear the drums, Fernando? I remember long ago another story night like this.
But I love doing it. Okay, I've got no regrets, even if it did demonetize me for 3 months. And it probably was a combination of the copyright as well as the content of that video, talking so graphically, I guess, about certain love life situations. Speaking of love life situations, I think it's either a highlight or a low point in 2020. I had my heart set on a guy, and I was filming a romance reading vlog at the time, and he stood me up. He stood me up. And I'd already fallen for this guy because we'd met up twice the year before. All throughout lockdown, he was like, oh, you know, as soon as it's all over, we'll go on a date and stuff like that. And then he just stood me up. And I was livid. Absolutely livid. So I remember I went on such a rant on that video. And a lot of people seem to enjoy that rant. I'm just going to say this in this vlog. I don't care. I hate men. Literally, you were supposed to come in 10 minutes. 5 minutes ago, I got the text saying, sorry, I'm too tired. Fuck off. I've said no problem. But for the first time in a text, I haven't put any kisses on it. That'll show you, you little bastard. I hate men. I genuinely hate men. Oh, I fucking hate men. I hate men. I am pathetic. I am pathetic. I need change. And it's such a jarring juxtaposition to the middle grade stuff that I was doing that year, because I was just about to start doing interviews on my channel with middle grade authors, which was like a whole new concept that I was going to do. And I did quite a few of them. I ended up doing like over 30 of them. But in 2020, I did 8, and they were with Anna James, Jamie Littler, another little sad backstory actually. The day that I did the interview with Jamie Littler was the day I had to put down my childhood cat, Oscar, and that was like really heartbreaking. Like, it was like the most heartbreaking thing I ever went through at that time. That did end up like affecting me for like the rest of 2020, but it was only, what, like 4 hours before that interview with Jamie Littler I did on my channel, where I had to get him put down, and I had to take him home with me because they couldn't take him to get cremated. So I had to take him home with me so that the person could pick him up in the morning from my house to take him to get cremated. So I did that entire interview with Jamie Littler with the body of my cat in the next room, and I was so upset. I was mortified. I was inconsolable. But because Jamie Littler is my favorite author, we were talking about Frostheart, which, you know, I named my next 2 cats, Ash and Tobu, after characters from Frostheart. So this interview was going to like mean so much to me, and so like the show must go on. So I started that interview. I was all smiles, and I was like all like, yay, like, you know, like, we're talking about my favorite book right now and it's so amazing. And then as soon as the interview was over, I went into my bedroom and lay with my cat until he had to be picked up the next day. So that was really something. 2020 was an awful year, honestly. Not just for me, for a lot of people. And I feel like that's probably why BookTube also kind of took off in 2020. A lot of us were trying to find comfort in other people, in books, and the book community, which was amazing. I don't think my channel took off in 2020 though. Probably not until the very end of 2020 when something a little bit controversial happened. But anyway, going back to the interviews. So yeah, Anna James, Jamie Littler, and then Laura Ellen Anderson, Sophie Anderson, Elle McNichol, Ross Montgomery, Jennifer Bell, and Catherine Doyle. I did those 8 interviews at the end of 2020, and it was just a way of me promoting and boosting up some of my favorite authors and middle grade in general on BookTube, and I loved it so much. I also loved the fact that I ended up co-hosting a readathon called A Touch of Whimsy Adventures Through Wonderland. So for the Touch of Whimsy Adventures Through Wonderland readathon, you have to go down the rabbit hole with me and complete 7 prompts. And the goal is to get through Wonderland with Lexi and Kaylin from Kaylin Abridged and Jade from JD Ray Reads.
Okay.
I love it.
This is a window. No.
So that was like a really cool time as well, where honestly middle grade was just like first and foremost in my conscience, and it was the thing that I wanted to talk about and read the most, which is probably why it breaks my heart a little bit. that we did end 2020 with a little bit of controversy, which kind of changed my outlook on middle grade in general. For a while it made me not really want to be part of that middle grade community anymore, and it's stone cold tea now. I know some people wanted to find out some juicy gossip and stuff, but it's old news now. It really is. Hey guys, welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. Because I've cracked open about the bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly.
I thought that it would be good time. What? Oh my god, I'm struggling. I thought it would be a good time to talk about my worst books of 2020, because I feel like when I've had a little bit, I mean, it's only books fizz, I mean, I feel like it's going to get me in the mood to vent a little bit and talk about the worst books I've read this year. I put out a worst books of 2020 video, which I posted about on Twitter, and it got a lot of middle grade authors riled up. It was a bit of a pile-on. I got a lot of hate and negative comments from middle grade authors and children's picture book authors as well for some reason. Even though not a single middle grade was on my worst books list, it honestly just like soured middle grade for me. I was like, oh, I've tried so much for like the past year to be so vocal and supportive of middle grade, and then, you know, all of that happened and I was like, oh, I don't know what to do anymore, you know what I mean? What was really upsetting about it was that it was mainly the children's book community that was having a go at me for doing that, and not just directly saying that to me and saying I'm cruel and unkind and shitty, but all of the subtweets as well by authors I didn't even know, or by authors I have had the displeasure of meeting in real life, and just, yeah, that's a whole thing, but I'm not going to go into that. And it just felt like, I don't know, like, it's probably me just being overdramatic, but it did feel a bit personal. It did happen at pretty much the same time, and people were having a go at me at the same time, and then they were liking each other's tweets, or it was the same people tweeting and the same people liking it, or it was the same people liking all of the other tweets, as if they had a group chat going on, going, oh, you know, let's lay into Gavin, you know. So that was a bit of a kick in the face. It wasn't just that though, and I haven't mentioned this on Twitter or anything like that, but a few of them did start doing a sort of tweet thread, or they were tagging lots of book bloggers and booksellers and people who have been uplifting the children's book community this year, and just were like purposefully leaving me out. And that's fine, like, not everybody has to tag me and stuff, you know, if they don't think I've, you know, if they might not know me and stuff. And in fact, I don't think a lot of these authors did know me. They just kind of jumped on a bandwagon. But it just, that also felt like a bit of a slap in the face, because I do my best to try and uplift as many children's books and as many middle grade authors as I possibly can, all throughout the year, not just online but in real life as well. I do champion as much as I can, and I do, you know, give back to authors who I absolutely love and adore. And yeah, that just felt cruel and unkind and shitty. So it just, honestly, the hypocrisy on that as well, and not just that day but like a few days after as well, it was just like, it was still kind of going off, and there were just authors just being absolutely awful. So anyway, I kept an eye on it all, and it was another slap in the face when I saw a few authors who I've supported in the past kind of like the direct tweets that were at me, which I never tagged any authors or anything like that. I didn't attack anyone, and even in my video I mentioned like these are all my opinions, but also I didn't include a single children's book in that video. So when I review a middle grade book, even when I'm critical, I do say, oh, but it would appeal to the fans of this and people who loved this kind of stuff. Sorry. So like, there wasn't a single children's book on there, but still I had the children's book community. You're the best. So yeah, that was a little bit sad. 2020 was really shit. I mean, to be fair, it was talked about on like some gossip sites, and it was on, I think, like, oh no they didn't or something. It was talked about on there. I believe it was also in like a university article as well. Like, it made the rounds. Like, a lot of people talked about that one, and I did get a lot of support though at the same time. It was lovely. It really was. I definitely feel like it boosted my channel for a little bit. So I guess all I really needed was to ruffle some feathers, and that's how I would get seen a little bit more. Not that that was ever intentional. I did not expect it. I remember I was doing a movie night with my patrons. I think it was my first movie night actually with my patrons, and my phone was just blowing up because I was getting all of these tweets on Twitter about it, and people even tagging me, calling me awful names and saying I'm a horrible person. And all of these people were middle grade authors, and I was like trying to like watch this movie and enjoy this movie with my patrons, and I was like, what do I do? But actually a big positive light in 2020 was the fact that I did start my Patreon. I don't think I would be here right now if it wasn't for Patreon. All the people who have supported me over the years, even the people who have come and gone, honestly, I appreciate every single one of you guys. The people who are still there, love you so much. Shout out to you. And starting it in 2020 and being able to just kind of cultivate a smaller community within the big BookTube community, which can be so intimidating sometimes. It was just like so lovely and so nice. and it's something that I still take so much pride in, to have that little community of people. I do so much with Patreon to this day. So I'm so glad, like nearly 4 years later, I still have the Patreon. It's bigger and better than ever, and I'm still trying to improve every single day. So it's just great. So if you do want to join, if you do want to support, links down below, but no worries if not, you never have to. So yeah, some other positive things. Oh, Play Your TBR Right. I started Play Your TBR Right, which was a TBR game which I said I would never do after my failed attempt at Bookopoly. And Play Your TBR Right was weird. Okay, so now it is time to play my really shit TBR game, Play Your TBR. You're watching Play Your TBR Right. Yep, that's unoriginal. Oh, right, it's a king. Lower than a king. 5. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. 5. Higher. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at the size of that. 1,300 pages long. Oh my god, I'm literally shaking. Lower. Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's a 6. Okay. Higher. I'm gonna say higher. Come on, please be higher. Please be higher. Come on. Please be higher. No! I loved filming the videos, but I hated the TBRs. It was so fun, but like, in order to have stakes, I had to pick between a book that I really wanted to read and a book that I did want to read, but I didn't want to read as much. Or maybe it was like a big, intimidating book, and I would put like 5 cards between them. I'd have to guess higher or lower, and if I win the round, then I get to read the book I want. If I lost the round, I had to read the book I didn't really want to read, and it was a fun time, okay? But doing it for like a year and a half, I started in July 2020, ended that, I cancelled it in December 2021. But doing the ones in 2020 was so much fun. Who knows, I might do like one special little round at some point. It's funny because I got a question from Jesse the Reader, who again, I love with my whole heart. And I asked him in his Q&A for his anniversary, his favourite video he ever made each year. And the little bugger has asked me the same question. So I mentioned in 2019, it was the Mrs. Marvel Enclosed one. Out of all of the videos I haven't mentioned yet for 2020, I would say the one where I go camping outside. Hey guys, welcome back to How to Train Your Gavin. So I've travelled hundreds upon hundreds of miles to the middle of nowhere. Literally, there is not another person or building in sight. There is just nobody around. I'm actually rather scared. So I've actually erected my own tent. I've never, put up a tent myself before. So that's it there. And I don't think it looks quite right. It looks quite flat. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? Where the fuck is it? It was right there. I just want to say to all my viewers, if I don't make it out of this alive, please watch all of my videos with the ads on. Don't skip the ads. It will help pay for my funeral. The one where I kind of do a little bit of a Blair Witch Project thing. Hello, Ash. Ash has just walked in and totally took off the vine off the bookshelf. You little shit. Yeah, the one where I go camping outside, I think was probably my favourite video of 2020. I loved going to visit Jade for Paulathon. That was actually the first time I ever met up with Jade, and it was the best time ever.
Welcome to Gavin's Paulathon reading vlog.
Oh,
now you can tell your viewers how small I am.
Oh, yay. So this took me by surprise. Like, you're not even in the shot, Jade. What the hell? Oh, just seeing all of Jesus' library. So beautiful. So beautiful. And just before COVID really struck too, just before like lockdowns, because it was the same when I went to see Becca, and Ashley from A Frog Through Fiction also came. I don't know what this looks like right now.
It's going so wrong.
I'm trying to fix this ring light. I'm sorry, Becca. I think I broke you in, alright. Fuck's sake. Control yourself. I'm sweating.
Get away.
I'm absolutely sweating. Go for a way. I'm actually. Oh shit.
Gavin. Did you do that on purpose? Disgusting.
Disgusting!
Oh, and we also ended up doing a music video for Crescent City.
What about her? What about everything we do?
What about her?
What about it?
I got confused.
We wanted to read with you.
What about race?
What am I supposed to do?
No. You've got to move on your own.
Oh, fuck, Gavin.
Just want to grab your arms.
This isn't any good. You might find the sequels released.
Never ever rewatching that because I sound awful in that. Oh my gosh. But it was fun filming it. No, I don't think there's anything else in 2020 that I liked filming. 2020, like 2019, was a year where I really don't want to watch most of the videos back. But it was a special year in that it was my middle grade era. It was the peak of middle grade content for me that you will still see in 2021, but it really does start to fizzle out by 2022. Twitter, man, ruins everything. Made myself a new coffee for this update and I've already nearly finished it. Great. Have you seen how yellow my pages are for Loveless? This was definitely badly sun damaged. Just shows you how long I've had this on my shelves. I've just started part 3, so I'm on page 203. What I love about books like this is that it really does show us so many different sides of like sexualities, and I love when Alice Oseman writes books like this. I read Radio Silence a few years back, I think back in 2019, and I loved it. I thought it was great. It felt very quintessentially British university student kind of literature, and that's what this is feeling like as well. I love the fact that Durham University is a setting. Fun fact, of all the universities I applied to, Durham University was the only one to reject me. I'm so glad it didn't end up going there, but I almost did. It was actually my number 1 choice. But that's only really because I love Durham itself. I love the city. I love how gothic it looks at times with the cathedral and all of that. So I really wanted to go there. But I ended up going to my second choice and I'm glad I did. I ended up making some lifelong friends there. Love that I'm getting back into Alice Oseman's world. And obviously like Heartstopper as well is like my favourite ever. So there's just always so much relatability in Alice's works. And even though this isn't my experience, this is following Georgia. She is questioning her own kind of sexuality because she doesn't know who she's attracted to or if she has certain feelings that she thinks everyone else has. And she thinks that she has to like fit in with everyone. And honestly, those feelings are so valid. Those feelings make me feel seen. So even though this isn't my personal experience, I can still find so much relatability in Georgia's journey. And I also love the conversations about like how, yeah, you could be aromantic or asexual and you would still be different to other aromantic people or other asexual people too. There is just like this very vast world of people, and that's what I love about the LGBTQ plus community, and I love being part of it, of course, because you'll never get 2 people the same, and I really do enjoy that. I do think Georgia is very judgmental though. A lot of the times, like, she's very judgmental. So that's probably one thing I don't love about her, but I do love the fact that she's asking all of these questions. She's trying to figure herself out. I love the correlation with her university experience too, because, oh my gosh, so much of that just so much like came flooding back to me. I remember my freshest week there was like free Domino's pizza and there would be like free pizza at the stands and stuff, and like that was mentioned in this. And I live so close to Durham, so the university I went to was Newcastle University, and there were just like some crossover things that I'm sure both universities did loads of, especially during freshers week. So I think there is just like so much in this that just like triggered a memory in me. And I'm also somebody who doesn't love going clubbing, but all throughout university I did go clubbing because that's what my friends wanted to do, and I always loved going out with them. I loved just hanging out with them. I always wanted to be wherever they were, but I never knew the songs, so I was just like awkwardly dancing. I didn't sing along to anything because I didn't know the songs. So it's just a really funny experience reading this, honestly. I think I am round about halfway through. Yeah, I'm nearly halfway through, so I'll definitely get it done today. It's still quite early. I got up quite early to do some like chores and housework and stuff. Clean my kitchen, clean the cat's food area, played with the cats, tidy just the general living room up too. Might be doing some reading sprints later with my patrons. I always like to surprise them every now and then, like, hey, it's Tuesday, let's do some surprise reading sprints. And they're like, you do these every Tuesday. And tomorrow, I'm going to promise myself to go out the house because it's actually quite nice today, so hopefully it's nice tomorrow. Go out the house and maybe go to my library and sit in my library cafe because I just fancy doing that. And I most likely will be onto my next read by tomorrow with any luck. Especially since this has such short chapters that I'm getting through it so quickly. I am listening to the audiobook on Libby and it has the new cover, so I wonder if there are some new changes in the re-release, you know, with the new covers, because I've noticed some changes as I was reading along physically with my like old ass copy of it now. So that's kind of interesting. I'm glad I'm listening to the audiobook and reading along just to see what like those changes are. And if anything though, it's convinced me that I need to get the new covers, which I was on the fence about. I was like, I'm not buying more Alice Oseman books, but guess I'm gonna have to now for the changes. I thought I was gonna finish this during my reading sprints for Patreon, which Katie has just joined, and I think Gabby's going to join us soon too. In about 4 minutes before the live show, because I was still listening to the audiobook, 4 minutes before the live show, the audiobook ended. It was like, oh, this is Loveless. We hope you enjoyed. Now, the next 45 minutes of this audiobook is a short story thing that Alice Oseman had written, and I wish I could have just listened to that. I just don't have the time because we got shit to do. Finish this, and it really is quite special. I really do think that this is another one of Alice Oseman's works that I think would be so handy for so many people for so long. Like, say Heartstopper, for instance. Wish I had that growing up. I really did. And I genuinely think this is going to be so useful in so many school libraries, and so many kids are going to love this and see themselves represented in this. And even if they don't, hopefully to give them some understanding on other people who are asexual or aromantic. You know, like, it's just going to give you so much more of a perspective on that. So I'm probably going to settle with a 4-star for this one because, you know, Heartstopper is still my favourite, 5 stars. And I think Radio Silence I also gave 5 stars. The reason it's not 5 stars, it's a me thing. And I think if I had read this either while I was still at uni or like right after leaving uni, I think I probably would have given it 5 stars. And there was a bit of a miscommunication thing as well, which isn't usually my favourite kind of trope either. But other than that, I think the characters were fab. I do think the main character went on such a journey that I ended up loving by the end of it. And it was just wonderful. I can see why so many people love it. And I think it's going to be one that will have a pride of place in my collection. Is that the right saying? Pride of place?
Oh man, I need to wait. Before we play this game, I need to wait now.
I hope this is their first impression. I'm gonna mute Gavin. Cause he Why is the microphone with him? What just happened?
I forgot I had headphones in. I forgot. They're wireless.
Samantha? Oh, hi, Carrie. What are you doing? Masturbating. I'm waiting for my Uber Eats. You hungry? No, horny. I told the Uber Eats driver to leave the food and help himself to my pastrami flaps instead. Huh. So you're hoping the Uber eats you out? Is that allowed? Honey, it's lockdown, not cockdown. Oh, excuse me. It's Clunge Clock, and I predict I'm not the only person in this apartment who's about to get full. Well, I'm sending you my love and support. I don't need your love or your support, Sarah Jessica Parker. The fact I didn't get my Emmy Award for Honey, It's Lockdown, Not Cockdown is an absolute disgrace. But I do think I probably started 2021 off pretty well, even though we did have the remnants, like the breadcrumbs of the previous year's dramas. It was a time when I was questioning my identity on BookTube, and I think I did a sort of like a transitional kind of thing in 2021. I was still doing middle grade, but I was incorporating so much more to hopefully try and make the transition a little bit smoother. So 2021 was also a mess. I would say that my first 3 years on BookTube were an absolute mess. Definitely this year was like my year of friendship, I think. I did so many live shows, and I think a lot of people did a lot of live shows in 2021, whether they were reading sprints or like reading a certain book together or some kind of like readathon thing. 2021 was like the year for that. That was, I think, maybe peak live show hangouts, 2021 and 2022. Loved being a co-host for Jade for Paulathon in 2021. We did so many hangouts that week. It was amazing.
I was playing Animal Crossing, so I had my phone like between my knees to hold it up whilst we were on FaceTime, whilst I was busy with my hands playing Animal Crossing. And then Jake delivered me some pizza, and Pris, with her face between my knees, saw the pizza and went, yum, 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 yum. She was between my legs.
Wow. Recreate it now, Pris. Recreate it now. Show us how you did it. In Team Flop Flop as well. That was a little scary, but also a little sexual. A little sexual. I'm not Team Flop Flop anymore. I'm Team Hard Hard.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Jade.
Thank you.
Let me screenshot you all really quickly.
Thank you.
Yum, 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 yum.
I started doing like snuggly support sprints when I was feeling a little bit alone and by myself, so I started to do them as a way of making me feel like I was branching out a little bit more and getting to meet more people, which is why I loved doing them on my own, because I could just like chat to everyone in the comments all the time. They were pretty snuggly if you ask me, but I think maybe the creme de la creme of 2021 was doing Bookoplathon, which Becca was an absolute genius with. Doing a readathon for 48 hours where we're live 24/7 essentially, but it's a different host on a different channel every 4 hours, and there are like different guests and stuff. And I picked a midnight shift so that I could do a slumber party with my friend Lexi. But I think that was like maybe a really boring live show. I don't think anyone remembers that one. Gavin can't come to the live show right now. Why? Oh, because he's dead.
That scared me. Oh my god, I can't look at it. Kevin, I'm so scared. Oh no, oh my god.
Like, this is like two different kinds of people right here. We have Lexi, who is just like so flawless and glamorous. And here's me, literally an old witch. How can you even tell if I'm small?
You scared my cat.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Everyone is so upset about it. I'm sorry.
Tell yourself I'm the witch.
You're the only person who could carry that mask. You look lost. I'm hyping you up in my head, I swear.
Look, this is... Oh, Titanic. That would be really sad.
Yes, because well, I know, but like Jack Dawson is Bay forever. He is the love of my life, so I would love him to sing to Rose. I think he could have fit on the door though, and I'm still really pissed.
I still have that Cruella de Vil face mask somewhere. Haunts my dreams. Pretty sure to this day Lexi brings up that live show to her therapist. And even though I ended up finding, I think maybe my worst book ever in 2021 in Den of Vipers. The experience of reading it with Mel, Liv, Jaleesa, and Christine, that live show and hanging out with them was like one of the other highlights of 2021. It was so funny.
I like green.
You know when you read a book and it isn't the book that you like exactly, but the experience of reading it? Den of Vipers is one of those. I think 2 of my big life changes and channel changes happened in 2021. I ended up moving from my mum's house. It was my very first time living on my own, and it was a scary transition, but it did allow me to pursue more video concepts that I was otherwise not able to do, because I used to hate filming when my mum was in the house, or when anyone was in the house. I was very shy. It's why so many of my early videos is me kind of whispering a little bit and being really quiet, because I was a little bit scared that someone could overhear me talking, and I just got like really nervous and anxious about it. So being able to have my own place and my own space where I can film and do all the crazy bonkers stuff that I want to do, that was like huge for me, absolutely huge. So I moved into this house in July 2021. I remember it was in the middle of Summerween. It was my very first Summerween, and it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Moving is awful, like it really is, but when finally everything is settled and everything's all said and done, oh my gosh, bliss, absolute bliss. It meant that something that I wanted to do for such a long time, I could get done, and that was reading all of Goosebumps in 1 month. That is something that I wanted to do since I started my channel. I love Goosebumps. It's something that I really wanted to reread, and I thought, oh, maybe I could do this massive reread challenge for the Goosebumps books and like vlog the experience.
Hello, I'm Auroraxbeam. I write the Goosebumps books. In a few minutes, you're going to watch my favorite booktuber read all 62 books in my original Goosebumps series. That's a scary challenge. What's so scary about that? You're about to find out. Viewer beware, you're in for a scare. You know what, I think I nailed it. First time.
I love the fact as well that Allie from Hobback Order had the same idea, but like obviously we didn't go to each other about this idea. Allie was live on Twitch one day and she was like, oh, I'm gonna be reading like a whole 62 book series. And I was like, hang on a minute. So we ended up like unofficially buddy reading the Goosebumps books together, and it was so wonderful. I mean, the experience of reading Goosebumps wasn't the best. I still love Goosebumps with my whole heart, but it hasn't really aged that greatly in my opinion. But that vlog did change my life. It was like my first video to get 100,000 views, and I was just over the moon. I just didn't expect it. I thought it would flop. It was 3 hours long, for God's sake. I didn't think anyone would watch it. But no, like that really surprised me, and honestly, ever since the Goosebumps video, I feel like my channel just like changed completely. I kind of have this vision in my head of my channel where I have the pre-Goosebumps era and then my post-Goosebumps era. And my channel is better off for it, honestly. I will always credit that video as being like the turning point for me. And it's still probably the hardest video I ever did, because I did spend the entire month reading Goosebumps while still working at Waterstones at the same time. But it was at that moment when I was like, oh, maybe I should start making videos that are over an hour long. And as you can probably see, I still have that mantra today. Make the videos an hour long, make the movie length. The second big transitional thing, I think, was when I stopped identifying as a middle grade booktuber. I ended Believeathon that year. I did my final round. And if you ask me, best readathon announcement video of all time.
Mystery in Bookshop. Hi Vilma, it's How to Train Your Gavin. I'm actually calling from the Manor of Make-Believeathon. Do you need help solving a mystery? Yes, I kinda couldn't figure out who the villain was last year, so I'm gonna need your help. Winifred Sanderson. Thank you, Velma, for that marvelous introduction. You stop that.
I say into pie, up and maybe up and down.
I say into pie, up and maybe up and down. Yes, that was masterful. Now the proper authorities are on their way. Fools, all of you, for in the month of November in a jungle within, the 4th round of Believeathon will begin. Oh, I'll be back
and the lives of everyone in the land of make-believe-a-thon shall be mine. I wanted to dress up as Winifred Sanderson since the dawn of my channel. Hocus Pocus is one of my favourite films, okay? So it's always a dream come true when I get to go in costume and do something. And being Winifred Sanderson, oh, the height of my career. Height of my career. So it was sad that it was my final Believe-a-thon, but it was something that I was really happy to move on from. And hosting a readathon is hard work. It is hard work. I wouldn't want to do that again. Always have major appreciation for people who host them. So yeah, in 2021, I did end Believe-a-thon. I also ended my In Conversation With series where I interviewed middle grade and young adult authors. I absolutely loved doing them. They were a lot of hard work, like trying to get everyone's schedules in place. And I did most of them live, actually. I did them live on a Friday night, I think it was. But some of them were pre-recorded. But I honestly think I had a stellar lineup in 2021. I had some of the best authors ever, and I loved every single one of them. I was a huge fangirl for so many of them. I mean, I had Baby Alston, M.G. Leonard and Sam Sedgman, Benjamin Dean, Tamsin Merchant, Victoria Schwab, Roshni Chokshi, Aldi Lipinski, Francesca Gibbons, Katie and Kevin Sang, Eden Royce, Cressida Cowell, Abby Elphinston, Alice Oseman, Vashti Hardy, Maria Kuznier, Alistair Chisholm, Robin Stevens, Kieran Mulwood Hargrave and Tom DeFreston, Thomas Taylor, Lindsay Curry, Katie Zhao, Catherine Arden, Dega Herman, and Lucy Strange. Come on, that was a killer lineup if I ever saw one. I just love doing them. I love hanging out with authors, I really do. I put my entire gavussi into those interviews, okay? Going back to that question that Jessie asked about like favourite videos of the year, one of my favourite underrated videos, I want to say, is when I did a Most Haunted skit where I pretended to be Yvette Fielding and Derek Okora.
Hello and welcome to Most Haunted. Over the past several months, the owner of the haunted house in Gateshead has welcomed many visitors. Spirits of men can be seen walking up and down the street, going this way and that, and then vanish without a trace. The name has repeatedly been brought up by those who know the legends of this house, and that name is Jack. Aye, there is a ghost called Jack living here, I read. Nasty piece of work. He once pulled me knickers down I was walking home from the shops. Dropped me kebab all over the pavement.
And how did you know it was Jack?
Because I heard this maniacal laughter and footsteps running away, and he said, "My name is Jack," so that's how I know. More neighbours have come forward to say that they believe that some kind of devil worship once took place in this house. It would account for some of the rumours of constant shouting, as if some kind of ritual was taking place. It's constant, every single night, banging on that wall. I worry the man who lives there already is already possessed or something.
And what makes you think that?
I can hear him shouting, "Yes, enter me body. Use any hole you can find, just get inside me." Someone needs to help that poor man before it's too late.
Oh, there's already so much negative energy in this room. I'm not surprised, considering we're standing in the most haunted house in America. We're in England, Derek. I can really feel something in the atmosphere. Oh, it's evil, Yvette.
I was hit with a bad smell as soon as I walked in.
Come on, son. Give me that energy. Yeah. I can feel it. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting some kind of messages. Oh, yeah. He's going in and out. In out.
Does this male have a name?
Oh my god, it's Donald Duck. Jack. I feel the presence of someone standing right behind me. Oh, what was that? Oh, I couldn't tell if that was Jack slapping me arse, or if it was some other malicious entity that wants to come and communicate with us right now.
Jack, if you are here with us, can you please make a noise? Let us know you're here. Brilliant, Jack. Can you do it again? Excellent.
Later that night, Derek and I decided to perform a seance. Did you hear that?
Okay, Jack. Now's your time to talk to us. Bang the table if you're here with us now. No.
I mean, I think the vlog itself is probably terrible. It probably is a little bit boring in hindsight now. And my hair in that is absolutely shocking. Oh my god, please never let it get that long again. But doing the most haunted stuff, you know what, actually that probably started my love for paranormal investigating. So I feel like I owe that vlog quite a lot for what's to come with my antics, my ghost hunting antics. So I didn't realize how much virtual social interaction I had in 2021. It was a lot of virtual social interaction. Do I feel like it's probably done me any good in the long run when it comes to actually in-person social interaction these days? I don't really want to say. But moving out was definitely the best thing I could have done for me personally, for my channel. And I do think we start to see the Gav of today in 2021. I think I was stumbling a little bit moving into 2021, and then as the year went on, I was like, oh, maybe this is the path that I need to go down. I found my way. So Alexi did ask top 5 favourite BookTube memories, and honestly, that Bookathon sleepover party with Alexi would probably be my number 1. Those Patreon sprints last night, Kayla ended up joining us as well, so it was me, Kayla, Gabby and Katie. It was so good. Like, it's been such a long time since I got to really hang out with my friends, and as I already mentioned when I was talking about 2021, that was the year I felt the most like social interaction online with my friends, with other people. So it's like so nice to get back to that, honestly, because I feel like, and you'll most likely hear me talk about this later, but when it gets to 2023, that's when I lose my way a little bit. That's when I stumble. That's when I feel like I'm kind of shifting a little away from BookTube accidentally, and I'm trying to claw my way back. So last night's sprints were just a little hint of what I've been missing the past few years. But I did start Lonely Castle in the Mirror while I was doing those reading sprints. I am currently 125 pages in. This is definitely like upper middle grade or young adult, I would say. Even though when I got this book, I got it out of the adult section. So if you're about to read this, maybe go in knowing that. I think maybe it's in the adult section because it doesn't really look a whole lot like a middle grade or young adult book, and it is compared to The Wind Up Bird Chronicle and The Virgin Suicides. I've never read either of those, so I don't actually know, but my friend Joanna from Joanna Reads, she did say that it's not like those at all. So I feel like this is like a little bit mismarketed, but I am liking this so far, and it is following a group of 7 young adults. I don't exactly know how old they are, but they are young, and one day their mirror in their bedroom starts shining, and when they touch this mirror they get transported to this wolf queen's castle, and this wolf queen tells them only one of you will be able to find a key to the wishing room, and you have until March to find it, and we start this book in May, so they have about 10 months to find this key. But the sinister thing about this is they can only be in this castle, I think it was between 9 AM and 5 PM, and if they're in this castle after 5 PM, then they will get eaten alive by a wolf. So essentially they could end up getting killed if they stay after hours. No one else is allowed to know about it, and honestly, if one of them screws up, then the rest of them will die, essentially. So it is really intense in that regard. At the minute, it isn't really focusing on any of that though, because these kids, they're more focused on the fact that they just want to hang out at this castle because it's like so cool, and so they're not really making too much of an effort of finding the key. So at the minute it is probably like slowed down a bit, and I don't mind it, honestly. I think it is beautifully written. I think this is so good so far, although I will say sometimes, like especially with dialogue, it feels like middle grade characters in potentially a young adult novel, because I feel like some of the themes are maybe a little bit older, and so sometimes the things that comes out of the characters' mouths feels a little bit too young for what the book is trying to convey sometimes. So I'm finding that a little bit jarring. But other than that, I am really enjoying it so far. And I can only read this physically too. So I'm going to sit down in my living room. I'm going to continue reading. I was going to go out today, but it's again so miserable outside. So I said I would go to my library cafe. I might do that tomorrow instead. And I'll just continue reading this in the house, even though Ash and Toby will not leave me alone. So this might take me longer than I anticipated. I just opened my book. I'm 1 page in from my read today. And he's just like, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm trying so hard to read. So it's just been announced that I am going to be a judge for the YA Book Prize this year. It is the 10th anniversary of the YA Book Prize too, which is incredible. And I'm going to be one of the judges for it. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I've had to keep it a secret for about like 2 months now. But yeah, it was just announced this morning at 9 a.m. via the bookseller. And I had my alarm on for like 8:55 so that I could be awake for it. What can I say? It's like my first time being a judge on anything. So I just had to be there. I will be doing the panel with Oseman, who we all know and love, dream come true, and also Anissa, who is the CEO and founder of Fairy Loot. And we all love Fairy Loot in this house, we do. Avid subscriber since 2020. Also the director of the Edinburgh International Book Festival, Rachel Fox, and the bookseller staff writer and chair of the judging is Katie Fraser. So excuse me while I ride on this high today. Decided not to go out today again. You know what, I'm doing another reading vlog next week. I'll treat you to a coffee then, okay? So I did finish Lonely Castle in the Mirror last night, but I was also really feeling manga. Like, I really wanted to read some manga. And also manhwa, because I had Killing Stoken Volume 6, which I was so excited to read. I'm kind of glad there's only going to be 8 volumes of this, because I do feel the story is kind of losing my interest a little bit at this point, but it's still really good. It's still really messed up. And I just couldn't wait to read volume 3 of The Summer Hikaru Died. One of my like favorite understated kind of horror manga. Volume 3 was very, very good, and I can't wait for more, but I'm caught up. Like, there isn't another volume for a few more months, so so I just had to have a little bit of a break from reading so intensely on like my vlogs. But Lonely Castle in the Mirror, I think I'm going to give it about 4 stars actually. I was thinking maybe like a 3.5 or a 3 star when I got to around about part 2, but then part 3 kicked in, and I think that's when a lot of the story beats like came together. I do think the writing is middle grade, but the subject matter and the themes are young adult. But I do think the way that it tackled some of the issues was very well done, very heart-wrenching. You get to understand reasons why these kids are at this castle, and it gets so dark, like really, really dark. So it kind of surprised me a few times in the way that the narrative went. There were some like predictable things, especially with some of the plot twists, and some things that are maybe like slightly annoying with the characters. But when you realise that the characters range between 7th and 9th grade, which I don't know like the ages of that, like we don't have that kind of system in the UK. It's kind of a lot more understandable, like the way that some of them act, the way that the dialogue comes across as, and I kind of like the gradual feeling of this feeling like a found family kind of book. So I think if you are looking to read it, I would say expect something a little bit younger. I think it's worth a read though. I was expecting this to be a new favourite though, which I'm a little bit disappointed that it's not. Maybe this is one I can revisit in a couple of years when I've managed my expectations and I kind of realise exactly the kind of book it is, putting aside any of the comparisons that are made and just taking this book for what it is. Here we go, everybody. Come on. Hello?
Hello?
Yes?
Who's this?
Who's this?
Tell me your name and I'll tell you mine.
I don't think so.
What's that noise?
Popcorn. I'm getting ready to sit down and read a horror book.
You like horror books?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite horror book?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Den of Vipers. You know the one where Roxy's the main character and she gets kidnapped by a gang of men?
That's not a horror book.
Well, you haven't read Roxy's character development.
Woof. Woof. Woof.
It's a beaver.
Are you fucking stupid? I'm Aslan.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
Get your fucking hand away from me.
Sorry.
If you ask me, my favourite year on BookTube, it will be 2022. That is until the very end where things kind of crash and burn a little bit. But for the other 11 months of the year, it was a really great year. I definitely think it was the year I had the best balance between a lot of the things that I wanted to do. I just feel like I kind of found my flow a little bit with making content on YouTube, and I even started some like new series that I was excited about, as well as continued some other ones. So I did make a sequel to Mamma Mia. Honey, honey, it nearly kills me. Honey, honey. Money, money, money. Must be funny in a rich man's world. Mamma Mia, now I really know, my, I should not have let you go. But if you ask me, I think my green screen usage and the way that I edit that video is way better than the first Mamma Mia video. I think I came leaps and bounds from that one. I mean, my singing is still awful. I haven't improved in terms of singing, but it was still fun to make. My new series that I started doing was I Have to Like My Friends' Favorite Books or I Unsubscribe from Their Channel series. That one I love doing until episode 6 in 2023, when I had to actually unsubscribe from one of my friends. Hated it. That series is now cancelled. As soon as I was met with the consequences of my actions, cancelled. But I did do 6 episodes of that, and I'm so proud of each and every one of them. My thumbnail for it too took me so long to come up with. I went through so many different thumbnail designs trying to get that one right. And when I finally did, I was like, you know what? That's my greatest thumbnail of all time. And it was just a series I was really proud of. I loved in that series. I loved shouting at my friends. I loved reading their favourite books. But I am changing it now. I am going to be doing reading my friends' favourite books while visiting them. So I'm going to try and do a little bit more travel and see them in person, because I feel like that's something I really missed and I just want to get back into seeing my friends in real life. I started to try and solve Agatha Christie mysteries. So in today's reading vlog, I'm going to be trying my very first 3 Agatha Christie novels. I'm so excited. The first episode of that one was so fun to do. I ended up going to London to visit Anna James, and she showed me around. She showed me some really cool Agatha Christie landmarks. I'm with Anna James.
Hi!
Glamorous, amazing Anna James, taking us around London.
Did a little Christie tour.
So I did 6 episodes of that series and share what the future holds for that one, because I just get bored. I need to keep changing things up, otherwise I do really get bored. I debuted my first and last series, which I've only done 3 episodes for, because I'm telling you, the backlash for every episode has been immense. Do you know how many people have told me not to do this? Do you know how many times I've had a comment saying, Gavin, just don't do this, like, what are you playing at? I will only be reading the first and the last book in this series. Kingdom of Ash, the final book in the series. I'm not reading any of the other ones, even though I have them all. I'm not reading any of them in this vlog. I'm going to go straight into this one. Who the fuck is Aelin? So I did Throne of Glass first, and obviously people hated it. Did The Mortal Instruments second, and, you know, people didn't really care too much about that one. And then the Wheel of Time one I've just done this year. So I did go on hiatus with that series for a long time. I started doing like reading books that inspired my favourite movies. I loved the first episode I did of that because I read Legally Blonde, and I actually went to London to visit my friend Elle McNichol, and we went to see Legally Blonde the musical at the Open Air Theatre in London, and it was so good. It was a great musical. I love the musical so much. The book was terrible, but it did kickstart my love of trying to read books that inspired my favourite movies. Wow, I didn't actually realise like how many series I debuted on my channel in 2022. It's a lot. Because I also started doing my haunted location videos, which are some of my absolute favourite videos to film, but the most expensive. So that is why I don't do them that much. I would love to. I honestly would love to visit more locations, book the haunted locations and go there, but it's very, very costly. So for Spring Fling-a-Ween, I did end up going to a cabin in the middle of nowhere, which honestly is still one of my favourite videos ever that I've done. I'm here. And I've got my microphone, okay? This is something that's happening. So let me give you the grand old tour. And look at me working this microphone, oh my lord. And there's my cabin, just over there. That vlog, even though it doesn't have me ghost hunting or paranormal investigating, it is the first video where I go to a scary location to read horror books. So that's why it kind of like kickstarts the series, where I do start going to more haunted locations. I didn't realize that cabin was haunted. I don't know if it was haunted. There was a weird moment where my bedroom door opened that I didn't realize until I watched back the footage as I'm filming B-roll. The bedroom door opens and it stays open for a few seconds and then closes. So either it was a ghost or someone broke in. And I did end up getting sick and having to go home a day early. I love that vlog, okay? I love that vlog so much. Great experience, and it made me want to read in more scary locations, which is where my haunted castle vlog comes in, which is up there with my cabin vlog, if you ask me. I think 2022 was the best year of haunted content. The first is always the best, isn't it? I'm in a spooky castle. I'm in a spooky haunted castle right now. I don't know what's come over me. I really do not. Cannot get over how many dead flies there are.
Don't leave.
Okay, I'm fucking leaving. I'm so sorry. And I was and still am such a big fan of paranormal investigators on YouTube, and I just wanted to bring that energy to BookTube. I was like, we need to do more hunting of the paranormal. We need to incorporate this into reading vlogs. So that's what I did. Blended the two together to give you the Haunted Castle vlog. Freaking love that one. Even though I did a sequel the following year, like the first one, you can't beat it, can you? I was just having fun. That's what BookTube is all about for me. It is about having fun. Obviously, I made it my job, which actually in 2022, I quit my job to do BookTube full time. So even though I was having fun, I also had to make sure that I was able to pay the bills, essentially. I realized, okay, I need to be a little bit more sensible. But in 2022, I was fun and fancy free. I was that fun and fancy free. The first video I uploaded after quitting my job was a video where I did a My Heart Will Go On parody, which obviously was not monetized. And I was like, why? Why would you do that, Gav? Can touch us one time and last for a lifetime and never let go. You leave a full-time job with a stable income to do something with a less stable income, and the first video you upload in that time is one that has copyrighted material in it that won't be monetized. Honestly, 2022 Gav did not care. So I allowed myself still to have a lot more fun that year. I started my 9 Vlogs of Halloween event, which I now do annually. In 2022, I think was like the best lineup. As much as I loved some of the videos in 2023 was a year, we'll talk about it. But 2022 Vlogs of Halloween, I did the sleeper train. I went on a sleeper train to read a mystery and try to solve it before I reached the end of the line. Like, I'm sorry, but that's genius. I am so incredibly excited today, book lovers, because I am doing what is probably my most craziest vlog idea yet. Oh, I hope this is the right room. Okay, this room is tiny, but that's fine. All I needed for was to read, right? I also needed to drink my Prosecco. I was literally in bed at like 2-3 a.m. getting recommended a random video on YouTube of someone just going on a sleeper train in Japan. So I was like, oh, is there a sleeper train in the UK? I'd love to go on one. Saw that there was. Then I was like, okay, how do I make that bookish? Trying to get other sort of elements from other corners of YouTube into BookTube was first and foremost what I wanted to do in 2022. I wanted to be an innovator, all the while making terrible financial decisions because that was, again, expensive. I did go to Whitby to read Dracula. Oh, literally, I'm fucking terrified. Oh, no. It's gonna jump out, isn't it? Oh, God. Oh, fucking hell. There you are. That was actually an idea from a colleague at Waterstones who I used to work with. We were doing a school event together and she had just come back from Whitby and she was telling me all about it, and I was like, you know what? I want to go to Whitby and I want to read Dracula when I'm there because I've never read Dracula before. Honestly, the Vlogs of Halloween lineup in 2022, stellar. Absolutely stellar. What else was there? There was another Goosebumps video. I continued doing them until I caught up with the entire main series. Reading Sabrina the Teenage Witch books, my childhood. This is so not how you train your Gavin. Amen. Oh, the nostalgia was dripping from me in 2022. And even before Sabrina, literally the first month of 2022, I read all of Animorphs. And that was a huge nostalgia trip for me too. And it's a video that has done pretty well. I read all of The Walking Dead. And that was, like 32 volumes or something like that. And then I ended the event by going to a really cool little kind of cabin getaway with some of my friends. I went with Becca, Cody, G, Ashley, Beth, and Nathaniel. I had to count on my fingers there. Yeah, we ended Halloween season with going away and it was so amazing. I love them so much. This is my best side as well, so I'm gonna have to like look out the window.
I thought you were telling the camera that I was your best friend.
My best friend. That was a little bit sad. Like, pretend you're driving. Pretend you're driving. You can. You're an actress. So that was really nice to be able to still hang out with friends in 2022. And even then, like earlier in the year too, I went to Jade's for Polathon, which we surprised everyone with because Pris also went there and Steph from Steph Loves. All four of us, I believe, weren't we all co-hosting the readathon? I think we were. I think we were the 4 hosts of Polathon that year.
Gavin will be joining us. I think he's with his mum. He said he had family stuff on, but he's got the link. And
he has his priorities not straightened out already. He's just a fucking dick. A wanker.
What did you just say about me, bitch? Hello. I got you all.
I love how terrible we are with lying to you all.
We always.
We are so bad. Like, look at this.
Oh, Steph.
Oh,
would you like a link?
Yes, Steph. Can you come on Sprints, please?
Come on, Steph. We miss you so much. We love you.
Cheeky little what's it? Okay, now Steph needs to go. I'll send her the link.
Yeah, send the link. Yeah.
Oh, there she is. She popped up.
Oh,
add her to live.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hello. Oh my god. We're all together.
And it ended up leading to us going to Steph's a couple of months after that, which was so much fun. I actually did my first book shopping video ever while I was at Steph's, so that was really interesting. Now this is the manga I want.
Oh!
Frozen 2, the manga. This is what I want. No, it's mine.
I want to look.
Okay. I like it. Never again. I'm never going in the manga section again. Literally. How long's it been? Like half an hour or something?
It's been like half an hour.
Half an hour. A guy just wouldn't leave us alone. Wouldn't leave us alone. And I wouldn't even minded about recommendations, but the fact he was taking the piss to begin with, because I picked Frozen 2, the manga, he was like, fuck, seriously? I was just like, okay, I will go. Half an hour. Is it gone yet?
I love the fact as well that he was talking to you about this manga and about how they show off all the boobs.
High School
and
DxD.
stuff.
I know all about High School DxD. I know all 4 seasons. Apparently there's 4 seasons. And he was saying watching manga. It's anime. Okay, even I know that. No, I don't. But he's definitely
he was talking to you about the boobs.
He was talking to me about boobs. I was about to say, oh, I love boobs. But then I was like, nah. I don't want to go there. You two, what you got to say for yourselves, eh?
Yeah.
Leaving us with the man?
I needed a moment.
You needed a moment?
I needed a moment away from you all.
Wow.
That's fair.
Shame. For shame.
understand.
I just don't really love filming in public, and I think that was probably the first video I ever filmed in public, I think. Ash is talking to the birds now. Ash, can you keep that conversation to yourself? I don't want to hear it. Yeah, lots of stuff with my friends. I ended up doing another slumber party with Lexi for BooklovewithMelanie. That was just as chaotic as the first time.
Don't hurt yourself. I'm worried about that mushroom. Okay, set, go. A book that's a steamy romance.
Oh, well, I can't go in the middle grade, can I?
No!
We're going to leave that. Steamy romance, you said, yes?
I knew it! Okay.
I got invited to my first ever Living Dead Book Club live show, which is hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala, and the Book Troop, which is hosted by Gabby Reeds. It was my first ever time doing those book clubs, and considering how much I love those book clubs, it was such an honor and a privilege to be part of both in 2022. I was like, oh, I made it. So honestly, again, such another great year for friendship. It's why I always think like 2021 and 2022 are like my peak hanging out with friends era kind of years. But how can I talk about 2022 without mentioning the elephant in the room? Heartstopper. If you wonder why I'm smiling so much, it's because Heartstopper's just come on Netflix. I am so excited. Shut.
Yeah.
Shut.
No more.
Shut.
Okay.
Let me just check. That's not. That isn't. Is it? What the fuck? That's Olivia Colman. Shut. What? The way that video blew up was crazy to me. That had never happened to me before. It got like 100,000 views in like 6 days. And so far, it's still the only video that I have that's gotten over 300,000. That is my most viewed BookTube video. I don't like that video, in all honesty. I think I look awful in it. I'm just not really a big reactor kind of person. Even though I've done more reactions on my channel, it's not really what I do. So it's funny that that one is my most popular video, when I wouldn't even put it in my top 10 YouTube videos of all time. Maybe not even my top 20. But I am so thankful to that video, because that video, I think, really did turn my channel again. Like, I had the goosebumps in 2021, but then I think with Heartstopper, their reaction video, that's when my channel just like took off. Goosebumps took a little while to really get the ball going, but Heartstopper was like, boom, baby, and I couldn't keep up, and it was great. Are you sick of saying hello to the birds? Are you not friends anymore with the birds? Okay. Oh gosh, I went to Yalk. I went to Yalk in 2022 as well. How could I forget that? I went to Yalk with Becca, Ashley and Cody.
How are you doing a vlog update?
I am. I've just did a little tour of the room. And I wanted to do a little tour of my Cody. Do I need to lock the door?
Tour of your Cody.
No Steve. Club. Another club. Another club. Next place. We should play Knock Your Eye Doors on Becca and Ashley as well.
Yeah. They'll get really wound up with us.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm going to do it.
Here you round the corner.
No, you can't. We had a blast, an absolute blast. Got to see a lot more of my BookTube friends. Got to meet some of my BookTube friends who I'd never met before in person. And it was awesome as well, meeting actual people in real life who knew my channel too. Oh my gosh, like that was so weird, but amazing. Some more videos I love doing. I love doing the Jane Austen vlog. Did a little bit of a unique sponsorship in that video, if I do say so myself. Bonjour, je m'appelle Elizabeth. Elizabeth, whatever are you doing? Oh, hello, Elizabeth. What is that strange contraption in your hand? Well, swear this is a secret, but I found this in Mr. Farcy's waistcoat at your ball last night. Oh, that was a splendid ball, if I do say so myself. I don't. Loved hanging out with my friend Lexi for our Baby It's Cold Outside readathon that we did towards the end of 2022. We had a blast. Literally, every single time I do a live show with Lexi, it is gold. It is amazing. I love doing live shows with Lexi. To this day. And when I drew Lexi in a challenge, Lexi was like, let's draw each other for this little challenge. We'll have a timer and we have to draw without looking at what we're drawing. So I was like, okay. And then she was like, but you also have to do it upside down. I was like, bitch, what?
Okay, so we'll flip it. Let's flip it at the exact same time. Are you ready? I haven't seen it. I don't know what it looks like. I have not seen mine yet. Are you ready?
No.
Oh no. 3,
We're gonna flip it.
2, 1. Oh no. Oh
Oh my god, Lex, I need to say mine again. It looks like you got a mustache. I've made you look like a demon in a horror movie. I'm so sorry.
Please hold it up closer to the camera, please.
I ended up making her look like a fucking monster from Wreck. And the final thing I'll talk about with 2022 is that I discovered One Piece. Today I'm going to be diving into the very first saga of One Piece. And I've gotten the first few volumes, well the first 12 volumes. I believe this is the entire East Blue saga. There are just so many of these that obviously I'm scared. Why am I doing this? Well, I say discovered. My friend Murphy and Amber Elise did push me in that direction to start it, and it changed my life. I will talk more about One Piece in 2023, but starting it at the end of 2022 and seeing the reception to that as well, seeing One Piece fans welcome me with open arms as soon as I started that first arc was just so wonderful and so amazing. And when I say One Piece is my favorite story ever told, I mean it. I fell in love so quickly. I ended up buying 100 volumes in one go. Some sweet soul was selling them for a good price on eBay. And I haven't looked back, honestly. So I say 2022 again as my favorite year, especially when it comes to BookTube and some of the lessons that I've learned from being on BookTube in 2022 and carrying that over into the following year. Even though 2023 doesn't go great exactly. Guys, I am the world's worst father. There's a couple of things I forgot from 2022 that I need to rectify right now. Ash and Tobu. I welcomed Ash and Tobu into my life in 2022 and I didn't mention it. I literally lifted Ash up during the previous update. What's wrong with me? So a little update. I'm possibly getting 2 cats instead of 1. Ash doesn't want to be split up from his brother. Yeah, I don't want to split them up. So I'm going to call the other one Tobu. Ash and Tobu. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, and so is he. There you go. Oh. There you go. Thank you. Hello. Oh, hello. I'll cut you now. I'll cut you now. Hello. Oh my god, the tiny. They're so small. Yeah. Oh, these are just so content. I love yous already. I'm gonna sit down. Hello. Literally, I've let them have some free roam, but Ash just wants to lie on my shoulder, and Tobu is just lying on me. They just won't move. Oh, the lovers already, and I love you guys so much. I do. Welcome to the world, Ash and Tobu. Getting Ash and Tobu in 2022, amongst all of these vast life changes, was just an absolute beacon of light. And I love the fact that they just took to me straight away. I was only supposed to get Ash. My mum on my 30th birthday showed me a photo of Ash and said, look, I've gotten you a cat, but you can't have him for a few weeks because he still needs to be with his mum. But when he's ready, he's going to be yours. And I was like, oh my god. After losing Oscar in 2020, I just didn't think I wanted to be your dad again. But I was like, okay, let's do this. So yeah, the day of getting Ash, I found out that I feel so sad to say it though. Well, 1, Ash and Tobu didn't want to be split up. They were inseparable, for 1. But 2, Tobu was the only cat left from that litter who wasn't picked. And I was just, like my heart breaks for him. But every day I see him, his little face, I remind him how much I want him. And he has a home here. He is with me forever now. So getting those 2 little buggers was one of the best things ever. Especially since it was the year I turned 30. So, you know, I was a little bit emotional, you know? As much of a great year as it was, turning 30 did hit me hard. Even though in hindsight now, I think turning 30 was incredible. But the other thing that I forgot was like one of my all-time favorite vlogs that I made. My Pretty Little Liars vlog. 'Cause 2 can't keep a secret if one of them is dead. Hello, sister. I did this whole thing where I was getting texts from A throughout, and then you find out at the very end of that vlog who A is. Oh, speaking of those little shits, I think one of them's shit. Unbelievable. This book was unbelievable. I need the happiness back in my life, so can we get on that, please? Dick. Excuse me? I don't need a glass. Oh, for God's sake, eh? And I love being creative like that. So I can't believe I didn't mention it, for one. But it is probably one of my favourite complete series vlogs that I've done. Just kicking myself for not mentioning it before. I am so sorry to everyone this is going to affect. I was a little bit bored, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I read this at the right time. I could not connect with this story. I honestly acknowledge the fact that it is good. I do realize that this is very well written and it was very beautiful at times, very melancholic. There was an undercurrent of tension that was quite beautiful, but I couldn't care. But I think that's a me problem. I think I just read this at the wrong time. I think I need something a little bit more exciting. Like, this was a lot more subtle. Should I tell you what it's about? So this one follows Miri and Leah. They are married, and Leah has just come back from a deep sea mission, except she has come back a little bit different to how she was before. So Miri is very wary that her wife has changed, and you do get like little bits of description, little bits of things that Leah is doing and things that are happening to Leah that are just a little bit strange, a little bit different. We do have this prose where one chapter we are with Leah, the other chapter we're with Miri, and you do get some really tense scenes with Leah, especially with what happened in like the submarine and stuff. So I do recognize that this is a very good story, and like I didn't hate it or anything. I was just really bored. I ended up reading pretty much all of this on the sprints with Becca, and I don't think I ever got into it. I thought maybe by the end of it I was like starting to feel like, oh, I'm kind of getting into it now, but then it was over. So I'm kind of coming away from this just a little bit underwhelmed, and I honestly do feel bad for saying this because I know a lot of people love this one, but I don't think my brain connected with my emotions, if that makes sense. This is marketed as horror, but it wasn't horror to me. Because this is quite a short book, it did feel like a lot of times we were meandering with the plot. There were a lot of like conversations between different characters that I felt just didn't go anywhere. It didn't actually add to anything, even like with the characterization of the other characters. I'm like, we could have probably cut some of that out because like it just didn't really amount to much. And because we had such a shorter word count, it felt like every word should have mattered. I don't know, I'm so underwhelmed. I'm so underwhelmed. I'm so conflicted because out of all the books I'm reading in this vlog, the ones I have read and the one I've got next, this was the one that I was the most excited for. I was anticipating this one the most. It's probably just going to be like a 2.5. It's bumped up because of the writing. I can acknowledge the writing is great and it's beautiful and lyrical and tense. I just don't think I read it at the right time. I am so sorry. Okay, next. Next, I'm unholding Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. And this... I'm trying not to look in the camera, stop it. Okay, next. Next I have... It's going to keep doing that. Okay, this is a perfect filler because I'm disgusted at the next two that I'm unholding. I really did not like this one. I think I gave it, what, 2 stars or something? Next, I'm unholding Reverie by Ryan Lasala. Oh. Well, it's never a good year when you have to upload a video at the end of it without a thumbnail and you just crying the entire time. I'm not gonna have any clips from that video in here, okay? That is a rough video, and it was just a rough time in general. That was when everything kind of just came to a head by the end of the year, and it it wasn't great. It just wasn't great. There are so many reasons why 2023 just kind of didn't really hit well for me. Some things happened at the end of 2022 which like shook my confidence quite a bit. And then like other things happened in 2023 as well behind the scenes that just further shook my confidence and just made me think, do I really have a place here? Like, am I really wanting to be on BookTube? Is doing what I love worth the emotional turmoil? Because honestly, BookTube, as much as I love you, it can be a pretty draining place. And I just felt like I was a carcass in 2023. And sometimes people would just like eat away at me. And it just got to the point where at the end of the year, I was like, okay, enough is enough. I'm standing up. I'm not going to have any more vultures taking any more of my flesh. I'm here to stay, bitch. And that's kind of what like this year, 2024, is for me. In terms of 2023, I was caught between two worlds. And a lot of that was on me. I couldn't quite find the right balance between my regular BookTube content and my One Piece content or manga content in general. And for some reason, even though that manga are books and books are manga, like they should be very intertwined, they're just not. The manga community don't really want to watch the BookTube stuff, and the BookTube community don't really want to watch the manga stuff. And then you do get this nice little sweet spot in the middle where people do love and watch both, and that's great. But I still felt such a divide throughout the entire year. And again, that's like my own fault really, and not everyone has to watch one or the other if they don't want to. That's all absolutely fine. But I was constantly getting told, I'm not interested in this, I don't want to watch this. And I'm like, that's fine, you don't have to. Just don't tell me about it. The comments were really, really starting to get to me because I was doing everything that I loved at once. And it's kind of like, you know, like you're a child and you're playing on the playground and you're just having fun, you're just dancing around and you're doing what you're doing. And then some person just walks up to you and says, I don't like what you're doing, and then just walks away. You're kind of like, oh, okay, I'll just continue on, you know, it's fine, it's fine. And then more people come up and tell you that. And it's kind of like you're in a place where you're like, okay, maybe I just shouldn't do anything at all. That's kind of what it felt like. It's a bit of a weird analogy, I guess, but it kind of felt like my light was being taken away a little bit throughout the year. Not just from the kind of comments of people not wanting to watch one or the other, but like, I was just going through some stuff. There's things behind the scenes that I'm never going to talk about, and all of it just snowballed so much. And it was an emotional year. Like, it was an emotional year anyway. So with 2023, I will think of 2023 as like my One Piece year, I guess, my manga year. It's where I really fell in love with the medium. So even if you don't want to hear this, One Piece was and still is my life, okay? One Piece has taken over everything. It has taken over my body. It is the best story I've ever read, period. And that's including films, TV shows, books, everything, okay? One Piece is the love of my life. And that's never going to change. And the only reason why I did so much One Piece content in 2023 was because I wanted to catch up before I went to Japan, where I was sure there was going to be so many spoilers for the series just walking around. So if I didn't go to Japan last year, I probably would have done a little bit less. I would have sprinkled it out throughout the year so it didn't feel as overwhelming. And that's my bad. And it's the only story in such a long time that's really made me cry. You guys knew this was coming up and you've still let me go ahead with it, didn't you? Even so, I was happy. Oh man. Right, okay. I'm fine. I'm fine. Oh, that hurts. By the third month, I'd cried so much. It kind of was a prelude to how I would be emotionally for the rest of the year. So moving on from One Piece, even though that did take up the majority of 2023, and if it wasn't for One Piece, I think 2023 would have been even worse. 2023, surprisingly, was a year where I was starting to feel a little bit more isolated. Like, I was isolating myself a bit. I mean, which is weird considering I started the year off pretty much by going to Paris with Beth and Sabine, which was an incredible experience. I love doing that. I just love the fact that they weren't even supposed to come in the first place and they just both messaged me at different times like, oh, I'd always wanted to go to Paris. And I was like, well, come. And they did. And it was so good. I love that. I love stories like that. I love spontaneous kind of trips like that. I need to do more of those. But I did end up going to Japan, where I met Gabby and Jessie for the very first time in person. And I love them so much. We've been BookTube besties for years. But also getting to meet so many amazing people who were subscribed to me, who I can now call friends. And they were just so amazing. They made that trip so... oh, freaking fantastic. It was such a good experience. I can't even convey, even though I did a vlog with me in Japan and with everyone who went on that Trover trip with me, it still doesn't convey how amazing the experience actually was. So that was like so good. Like I had 2 big, amazing trips in 2023 and still I felt like I was getting more isolated. But still 2 massive highlights of the year. I announced my second Trover trip going to Egypt, which is going to be later this year. Announced a 3rd trip to China. I currently have 10 spots left on my Norway trip. I'll leave links down below if you want to check that out, if you want to come to Norway with me in 2025. But being able to even have the opportunity to meet so many different wonderful people from the book community in person is just like such a dream come true kind of moment. Because in 2023, I also did a panel meetup, a BookTube panel in Newcastle that was arranged by Hannah from Ladet M. And the panel was me, Leanne, and Becca, and Olivia, and it was so good. It was such a great panel, such a great time, and again, being able to meet people who just watch BookTube and are part of the book community, because honestly, the BookTube community will be nothing, absolutely nothing, without the community. So just like Yalk, when I got to meet some people doing the panel and doing the Japan trip, oh, just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. The good thing about my identity crisis in 2023 is that I did do a bit of a rebrand. I did want to change my name so much. No longer did How to Train Your Gavin feel right for my channel. It was also starting to sound a little bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. But changing it to Gavin Reads It All, that felt right to me. So I'm so glad I did that. Doing a bit of a change up with the name and the sort of like branding and everything just gave me new life. It felt like it was giving me new life and I couldn't be happier. So if I'm looking back at 2023 as well, looking at the videos, there isn't really as many as 2022 that I am as proud of. Special shout out to Gossip Girl though. Hey Upper East Siders, Gossip Girl here, and I have the biggest news ever. One of my many sources, Melanie91, sent us this. Spotted in Paris, How to Train Your Gavin reading the Gossip Girl books. You know, the one that inspired the iconic television show, the original one. He somehow got his hands on all 14 of them. And yes, you heard me right, 14 books, and he's about to expose every dirty secret in them. Including the book where Blair and Serena trade in shopping sprees for killing sprees in New York City and become serial killers. Something tells me we're in for quite a ride. Don't believe me? See for yourselves. And who am I? That's a secret I'll never tell. You know you love me. XOXO. Gossip Girl. That was one of my longest videos and it was the most work I've put into a video. I had 35 pages of notes for the Gossip Girl vlog. That's how much effort I put into that. I read 14 books and made the most extensive of notes about it. And you know what? I think the editing of that video was great. Don't think anything will ever compare and I never want to do a vlog like that again, in all honesty. Oh, but I also did start filming some clips in Paris. I did a week in the life video, which again, I was like really super proud of. I feel like that video really did help show what I do in a week. I could probably do another one. I feel like what I do week by week changes quite a bit. So it would actually be kind of fun to do another one of those. Oh my god, I ended up going to a library and I stayed there for a few nights, all to solve a murder mystery. And it's a library where there are rooms where you can stay. I have booked an incredible stay at Gladstone's Library, which has incredible bedrooms and you can actually stay overnight. You can book as long as you want actually. And I will be showing you a lot more of the reading rooms, the grounds, the actual library and all of that in tomorrow's segment. Super fun vlog to do. I would love to do it again, but maybe this time just read books. I love the fact that I did solve a mystery in that video, but at the same time I would love one that was just like normal. I read all of The Secret Circle. Oh my god, terrible. Oh my god, the Vampire Diaries video. I nearly forgot about the Vampire Diaries video, which is one of my most popular videos. And that vlog is terrible too. It started out well. The books turned really, really shit. But even then, I got so sick during it, like actual, you know, illness. I got actually so sick during the filming of that. I ended up rushing it. I said it. That is one of my most popular videos, and it's one of my worst. I ended up rushing it after I got sick. You can definitely tell I was much more in depth with the first couple of series of Vampire Diaries, and then the last 2 series, done in like 10 minutes. It's just not great. I would probably like to redo that at some point, but do I really? Love doing my little charmed reading vlog for Summerween. I love when I can actually pursue an interest, even if it is a bit of a niche. Even if it's not going to get the best of views, I don't care. I just love doing what's fun to me.
Hi, Gavin. It's Rose McGowan from Charmed, Miss Page.
Hello, Gavin. Wow. That sounds like a great idea.
Even though Charmed doesn't exactly give you Summerween vibes, I still made it work. And right after that, I ended up meeting up with Allie from Hardback Hoarder in London. And I have been wanting to meet Allie for years. You know how much I love Allie? You know how much support I love showing her, her channel, her Twitch, everything? Because I worship the ground she walks on. I forgot to introduce the vlog, but I'm doing some book shopping. The one and only Allie from Hardback Hoarder.
Hello.
And Twitch. With Malice. How has your trip to London been so far?
It's been interesting, very busy. I feel like I need to stand up on my tiptoes.
Oh, this is cute. So getting to meet up with Allie and Brian in London, oh my gosh. That is probably my number 1 moment of 2023, honestly. She's just, I just love her. So being able to see friends and hang out with friends, again, that is just like the most important thing. And you've probably noticed, I don't really talk much about like, you know, hitting subscriber goals or hitting video view goals. I don't really do that. The biggest memories I have on BookTube, the only memories that I care about and the only memories that mean so much to me are the memories that I have with friends. As cliche as it sounds, honestly, the BookTube community is built up with people who I adore with my whole heart. So actually being able to meet up with some of them, being able to just converse with everyone in the book community so many times a week is just so good to me. Like, that's what BookTube is all about. That's why I love doing what I do. That's all that matters to me. And you know what I would love to do more of, because I did some good ones, if you ask me, in 2023, is going to more haunted locations. I went to York early on in the year, and that was a really good experience. Loved filming that vlog. This is so scary. I did 30 East Drive in June. I got terrified of that place. Research all of the GhostTube apps and like how they work. But essentially... Oh my god! But it was so much fun, and I asked Amy's Crypt, my favourite paranormal investigator, to send me a video clip, just giving me some tips and tricks for 30 East Drive. Oh, and she went above and beyond.
Hey Gavin, so I'm filming a little video for you because I heard you are staying overnight at 30 East Drive. You realise this is one of the most haunted houses in the world, and you're staying there alone. So I just wanted to say it was really nice to know you, and rest in peace.
I love Amy's Crypt. Oh my god, I was so happy and excited that she did that for me. I went to a haunted village that honestly not a lot. And in fact, I don't even think any paranormal investigators on YouTube have ever gone to that village before. I have the key. I have the key to the church. I'm here all by myself. I don't think anyone can get in, but I could be wrong. But I am a little bit scared because there are those ghost stories about the monks. And again, like this guy, he does scare me. I was one of the first. And that's probably my favourite vlog in 2023, the Haunted Village vlog. I just loved the experience of that. It was actually genuinely terrifying to experience and edit. And even though I did the 9 vlogs of Halloween again in 2023, I do think the Haunted Village vlog is the vlog I'm the most proud of in that lineup. Same with the Haunted Castle vlog. I did a sequel to it. I went back to Chillingham Castle and I had a great time again. Being in here by myself isn't creepy at all. Can you let me know what you meant the last time I was here? I remember. Oh god, what's that? I'm gonna try and do a reading sprint for Out There Screaming in this dungeon. Come here! There were genuinely some frightening moments in that. The GhostTube app said my name. Run! Oh my god.
I don't think I want to go anymore. Which way do I go? Guys, I think I'm lost.
That was terrifying, and I did some experiences that I didn't do the first time round that just really got under my skin. And I love pushing my own boundaries when it comes to the haunted vlogs. I'm not saying that they're getting easier to film. I'm not saying they're getting easier to experience. I'm still scared shitless every time, but I like to challenge myself, you know? I like to challenge myself each and every time I do them. So I did do 4 haunted vlogs in 2023, which sounds like not a lot, honestly. But again, the price of them, probably not as expensive as the Are You Afraid of the Dark vlog, because I had to collect 23 out of print Are You Afraid of the Dark books, and I think I spent about £500–600 on collecting those books for that vlog. We're called the Midnight Society. We're just a group of ordinary people who like to gather around the campfire once a week to share scary stories in the dark. But my question to you is, are you afraid of the dark? I will honestly put myself into debt to make a vlog, which I need to stop doing. It's not good for me. But it's like I always say, I'm not going to take that debt to the grave with me. A couple more than that, 9 vlogs of Halloween that I enjoy doing. I love doing the Halloween party vlog, and I ended up doing a really good live show with Lexi for it, for our patrons.
How long have you been working on the case for, Gavin?
About 9 years, honestly.
It took me, I started yesterday. When did you start?
I started yesterday too. Yeah, I have some snacks. I've got like candy.
That's amazing. They're eyeballs.
Yeah, the eyeballs. And I've got some cupcakes too. And I've got my red wine in one of those, like, you know what you get at a Halloween party, some cups. And then also I did secretly vlog the entirety of October, and that was actually kind of fun to do. It was like very chill. So I really did enjoy doing that, especially since I ended up doing 2 live screams that month. I dressed up as Casey Becker from Scream with Kayla from Books and Lala. Hi everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to this live scream that I'm doing with Books and Lala. I'm the before Casey Becker while she's still alive. And Kayla is the after she's been dragged through the grass.
I'm the Casey Becker who got caught in the rain or was trying a new hairstyle or something.
And I dressed up as R.L. Stein with Allie from Hardback Hoarder.
Hello, I'm R.L. Stein. I read the Goosebumps books. In today's prints, I'm reading The House on the Borderland by William Hope Hodgson.
And hello, I am also R.L. Stein. I write the Goosebumps books. And today, I'm going to be reading Snapdragon.
And we were all wearing matching costumes. It was so funny. I want to do more live screams in 2024 where we wear the same outfits. I don't know why, but I just find that hilarious. And then maybe the like final vlog that I enjoyed doing in 2023 that I feel a bit proud of is the Wizard of Oz vlog. Are you a good witch or a bad witch? Who, me? Well, I'm not a witch at all. I'm Dorothy Gale from Kansas. Oh, only bad witches are ugly. Only bad witches are ugly? Why did you ask if I was a good witch or a bad witch then? Do you think I'm ugly? Oh, not at all. That's not what Because if I wasn't ugly, you wouldn't have questioned whether I was a good witch or a bad witch. Well, I didn't mean it like... Honestly, so rude. Good witch? Yeah, right. More like a bad Oh, we don't use language like that around here. The Munchkins are very impressionable. Oh. Oh my. Oh. I did end up enjoying reading that series, but also filming some green screen stuff. I had to re-upload that like 5 times, trying to get rid of the copyright claims on it, because the green screen was too good, my acting was too good. They thought I was just uploading a clip from the film. So yeah, that's pretty much 2023. In the words of Charles Dickens, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. I both love and hated 2023 equally. In the imbalance of that entire year, has helped me this year, I think. Anyway, at least I feel like I'm doing a good job this year. And I wouldn't have learned those lessons if it wasn't for all of the rocky things that happened in 2023. I honestly feel like I've grown so much. Not just since 2023, but 2019. The 5 years since has just been such a roller coaster, honestly. And I genuinely feel like I am not the same person I was when I started. I feel more confident. I feel like I have a great group of friends. I feel more passion than ever for creating BookTube videos and vlogs and fun challenges and all of that. And I want to keep doing it for so many more years. I would love to do another 5. Are you kidding me? Ash, are you coming to celebrate? Ash has perfect timing because we were just celebrating 5 years, baby. Yes, we were. And I'm so glad that even after 5 years, that passion is still burning so hot inside. But yeah, I think that's pretty much 2023 summarized. Glad to see the back of it. So I was up quite late last night listening to the new Taylor Swift album. And I wouldn't even really call myself that much of a Swiftie. Like, I do like her songs. I'm not that big a fan. Like, this is the first time I've ever, like, listened to an album all the way through. And to be fair, we didn't even have a chance to listen to the entire album. So me and Lexi last night, we did a listening party for the new Taylor Swift album, which was part of Lexi's and Gabby's Patreon readathon, the Tortured Readers Department.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the album release listen along. We've got me, Taylor Swift from Wildest Dreams, but also we have a very special Taylor Swift from Rep. Are you ready for it? Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my god, it's so nice to be here. It's the real Taylor Swift here.
Real Taylor. Oh my gosh, you're beautiful. You look glowing.
Florida.
Wait a second. Okay, I guess I don't know a lot. Like, I don't think I know as much. I didn't even know that she knew about Florida. I mean, obviously she knew about Florida, but like she's from Tennessee and then she's from somewhere else. Florida. Why is she talking about Florida? It's so random. I loved it, first of all, but what?
I love the fact that you're like, Taylor Swift doesn't know about Florida. Like, of course she doesn't.
Like, who is she meeting down in Florida? I don't know. Sorry. I mean, I know that she knows about it, but you know what I mean. No, I mean, I know that she knows about Florida. I hate that I said that now.
Like, literally, we have to spread that. We have to spread that online.
No! I mean, you're like, Lexi, I hate it.
Lex, do you think I sound like that?
No, but I can't do your accent.
I fucking hate it. Get in the bin. Get in the bin.
Okay.
What's Florida? I don't know why I'm laughing so much. That live show was so funny. So I'm still kind of making my way through the songs that I didn't get a chance to listen to last night. And you know what? It's good. It's a good album. I'm liking it. There are some standouts that I really like. Some that I give a 10 out of 10. But I had to put the album away because I really wanted to finish Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. So I did start this yesterday before my live show with Lexi. And I've just finished it. Oh my god, I did not want to look away. This was like watching reality television that has just gone to shit. In this one we follow June, and she is an author. She has an author friend called Athena, and they have a very strange friendship. Something happens with Athena. She ends up dying in her apartment, and June is also there, and June has this opportunity to take a manuscript from Athena. June ends up doing like little bits and bobs to try and make it a bit different, and then publishes that manuscript as her own. And I've never read a book with such an unlikable main character, where I have been rooting so much for their downfall. Like, I was turning page after page, didn't want to stop, just like, okay, when is this gonna come out? Like, when is the truth gonna come out? And like, how messy it will be when that happens. And there were a couple of times when I thought, oh, this is it. This is the final nail in the coffin. She's cancelled. But no, like there were certain things that happened to like spin the narrative, which was like really fun to watch, while also giving a huge commentary on a lot of the things that R.F. Kuang wanted to portray in this book. A lot of themes explored, a lot of stuff about Twitter, which is now called X. So I'm like, I would rather call it Twitter anyway. But this is a book that's like very right now, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how it's going to be in about like 10, 20 years when people have hopefully forgotten about Twitter, because honestly, if that site could die, that would be great. So this book feels very current, and I'm glad that I've read it when I did, because I can just really appreciate it so much more. Yeah, I thought it was like really well written, surprisingly exciting, and I really did actually love the sort of behind the scenes look to certain aspects of publishing, how certain things work, seeing how an author like June can start where she starts with like her own middling debut and like rising through the ranks as soon as she has this like bestseller that obviously isn't hers. And it's just so interesting to see how she flips the narrative. Oh my god, I shouldn't say interesting, because I felt a little bit called out in this, because there was a moment when June says in reviews, oh, people only say something's interesting when they have nothing else to say. And I'm like, okay. The amount of times I say something's interesting as well, I'm like, I would have a complex about using that word now in my future reviews. But wildly entertaining. Not a new favourite of mine. I think I would give it a 4.5 stars. I would have loved to have seen a little bit more at the end. This was so quick to read, like so fast. It felt like this took no time at all to read. So I would have loved like just another 100 pages maybe. Like, this is one of those books where I think, because like the way that this ends, I just really am so intrigued by what could possibly happen after that. And I guess it's probably good to leave it up to our imagination, because, you know, it could be a downward spiral, it could be an upward spiral. Like, you know, I don't know what's going to happen next. So that's probably why the author decided to like end the book where she did, especially since, you know, just even given the climate, just given what does happen with like drama and stuff that happens on Twitter and stuff that happens outside of Twitter, authors being shady, authors being weird, stuff like that. Like, a lot of it is very open-ended. A lot of the time there isn't like a whole lot of closure there. A lot of the times these authors just bounce back like nothing happened, and sometimes they don't. You just don't know what you're going to get whenever an author is held accountable for the things that they've done. So I did just really like the examination of that. I like the way that the narrative just constantly asked questions, and every step of the way I was just like, no, please don't, please don't, please don't, no. She did it. You know what I mean? Like, she kept doing things, she kept digging that grave, and I just found it, and you know what, I'm just gonna say it, interesting. So this is my current ranking for the books. Even though I gave Pet and Yellowface the same rating, I do think Pet edges it just slightly. So Pet first, Yellowface second, Loveless third, but these three I gave over a 4. Lonely Castle in the Mirror is one that I feel like I might need to revisit in the future once I kind of lowered my expectations. And unfortunately, All Wives Under the Sea just did not hit the way I wanted it to hit. So that one's my least favourite of the vlog. And most disappointing, because I genuinely thought that would be the top. So this was like a little bit of a weird vlog. I did want to go through each book from each year that I really wanted to read and was on my TBR, while also sharing my experiences on BookTube each year, just to give a little bit of an insight into me and what I've been doing with like my YouTube channel and stuff like that. So hopefully it's been interesting, hopefully it's been good. I've been editing as I've been going, and oh my god, it's freaking long. I'm so sorry. And just an honest to god huge thank you from the bottom, the middle, the top of my heart to you guys for watching and supporting me the past 5 years. Wouldn't be here without you. I appreciate you each and every day. Viewers of the past, viewers of the present, and the viewers of the future. And I just don't know how else to say thank you other than just thank you so much. So that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave this video a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you haven't already. Leave all your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the vlog. Let me know if you've loved any of the books I read in this video or hated. Just tell me everything in the comments below. I want to give the biggest thank you to my patrons and my One Piece channel members for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join my Patreon or my One Piece channel membership, then all the links are down in the description box. But yeah, I hope I will see you in the next video. Bye.